Welcome to Hopscotch-N-Jacks,
A podcast where we take our inner child
back to school to unpack and unlearn
the lessons that shaped us to better ourselves
and our futures. I'm Karen.
And I'm Justice.
Let's go.
And now it's time for our morning announcements.
Have you ever struggled with asking for more? Do you wonder why it's difficult to approach your boss for a promotion or take it to the next level in your relationship? Or maybe just working up the courage to move out of the nest. It's not always about your bank account, your performance review, or the things that you see on the surface. It could be about an unspoken fear that's been with you since childhood.
Today, we're looking into how our inner child might be the real reason you're stuck where you are, be it in your personal or professional life, and how to help them finally feel confident enough to go after what you deserve.
We're exploring how doubt, discomfort with the unknown, and our little buddy fear holds us back from leveling up and reaching out for our greatest potential. Oprah Winfrey once said, "You are where you are in life because of what you believe you deserve."
And if you decide that you deserve more, then we hope that in today's episode, we will provide you with some tools and strategies to help you overcome those inner child setbacks and be that additional support system to help encourage you to see your worth and for you to level up.
Yeah. So if you resonate with what we're about to explore today, press pause and hit that share button. Share this with someone you love or a friend who may benefit from this episode. Maybe you can listen along with them and you both can share your feedback. We will greatly appreciate your comments, likes, and the opportunity to learn with you.
But before we dive into our class today, please note, we are not therapists. We are not psychologists. Think of us as your student teachers. But we're not your teachers.
We're not teachers.
We're not. This is us learning and sharing this journey with you. So let's get it going.
Our core curriculum this week is psychology, and we're talking about why we hesitate to level up. Why are we afraid to reach for the gold? What's holding us back? Is it our inner child?
Absolutely. Our inner child plays a significant role in how we approach and make huge life decisions. This isn't just about career choices like asking for a promotion. It extends to everything from moving to a new city, starting a family, or even ending a relationship. The fears, the anxiety, and unhealed traumas from our past can subconsciously guide our choices, often holding us back from what we truly need or want. Let's start this conversation from a career standpoint. We are taught that we should continue to progress upward, and the further you progress up, the more successful you are, right?
In recent data provided by Randstad, a global human resources consultancy, 42% of U.S. workers stated that they would turn down a promotion. Now, promotions don't always mean you will be increasing your bag. Sometimes it's a parallel shift that can get you to the next level. But besides all that, why is it that people turn down what an older generation would consider an opportunity? Let's get into our Innie belief system.
I think the first thing is probably work-life balance. As a kid, if you grew up in a house where your father, your mother was never home because of work, you might have that fear or that anxiety. It's like, if I take on this extra, if I get promoted and I take on this extra role in leadership and responsibilities, I won't be able to get home for dinner. I'm going to miss little Joey's baseball game, and that's something that as a kid I appreciated. I loved it when my mom and dad would show up in their business suits and business attire to my band rehearsals at night or coming to a concert. I always did look for them in the audience, and I didn't realize how important it was until I started seeing some of my friends' kids do their little performances, and they're looking in the audience and they wave to their mom or their dad. I was like, I remember that.
Yeah.
So if I was to get promoted and I had a family, it would be one of those thoughts. Like, if I had to juggle between my job and my family, which comes first? Which one's going to be the rubber ball and which one's going to be the glass ball?
Yeah.
Which one am I willing to drop?
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people, whether, whatever age they are, 38, 28, you always go back to that 8-year-old self of yours.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The work-life balance for a lot of people, especially people with families, is, very difficult, and also difficult to balance and juggle, especially depending on your job. If you can't leave the job at the job, then you have a problem.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there are a lot of people who are still working remote. Like, your job might be in your bedroom. Your job might be in your guest room. And you can't really put that down. The more responsibility you have, the less time you have for yourself. Because you don't even have to have a family to have a desire to have a work-life balance. Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing that I think about most is not being, like, the fact that we live in a society where it might be hard to pay rent. Like, if you live
on one salary.
Yes. If you don't have a partner or your partner isn't working, like, somebody might need to have a little side hustle. Mm-hmm. If you can't leave the job at 5 or 6 o'clock, depending on when your shift ends, if you can't leave the job on time, then can you make it to your second job? Can you make it to your side hustle? Even if you're doing it for yourself, there are a lot of Black women who are entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. And they're doing it all by themselves. And if they're worried about, I have to put in an extra 2 hours at work, that means I'm not going to have time to box up my supplies or, ship the things that I need to ship. Like, it's going to be a problem. So you might just want to have the 9 to 5 that you can just shake off at the end of the day. And also, there might be a concern that you might not be capable.
Yeah, I mean, capabilities is a key factor here. Like, am I actually capable to put myself in a role that I'm holding more responsibility? Now I have a person under me who is working off of my guidance.
Yeah.
I may have been able to physically do the job, but now that I'm no longer physically doing the job, do I have the know-how on educating or encouraging or mentoring another person to do the job? Mm-hmm. And that plays a role in nurturing, and what if I came from a family that didn't show that? Right. How do you nurture? How do you teach others? And that fear of, I don't know if I can do this like my mom. I don't know if I can do this like my sister. I don't know if I can do this like my best friend did, where they were able to help me through some things. How do I do that? Some people are narcissists and very self-centered. And so, but they'll probably take the promotion. But what I'm saying is, it's like, it is hard to really put yourself in a leadership role. Yeah. Where not only is the higher ups are looking at your performance depends on how the people beneath you perform. Yeah. And if you don't understand that, and you might even understand that, but your inner child might be reflecting on things that you may gotten wrong as a kid. Like, one mistake could send you spiraling down, like, Right. Yeah. You do the Homer Simpson meme where you just move. Exactly. Absolutely. What do you think about that?
I mean, the thing you said that was a great observation was that you have people under you. If you're, depending on the position that might be available, you might be looking at, now you're the manager. Mm-hmm. And I've had bad managers. Yeah. I've had people who didn't know how to delegate, or you go to them and they don't know how to do the thing that you're asking them to do. Yeah. Like, how am I supposed to do a job when I can't go to the higher up, the person who is supposed to be helping me, the next ladder up, if they can't help me? Like, that's a whole problem.
That is a whole problem. You know what's funny? Obama made a statement that you work so hard to get a seat at that table, and you do everything you can to get a seat at the table. When you get a seat at that table and you're around all these people that you looked up to, you realize no one knows what the hell they're doing.
Right. A lot of us are, I want to say faking the funk, but a lot of us are, figuring it out as we go.
Yeah.
is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to do. And if you recognize that this is a thing that is relatable, that a lot of us face, it might be easier on you to keep going.
Yeah. Keep going.
For sure.
Strong.
Yeah. But yeah, and there's also, what else, Justice?
That fear of rejection.
Yes.
I don't know why I giggled at that.
Probably because we've said it in most episodes.
But also it kind of hits hard, you know. When we go back to attachment styles, I don't have an anxious attachment style, but I do have a little bit of one.
We talked about there being hybrid.
Yeah, hybrids.
Folks.
Yeah, and so you always want to make sure that you have your P's and Q's and your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed and everything's ready. Your resume's on point. And if I go up to my boss and say, hey, I want this promotion, and I think I have everything, but then I start comparing myself to people that might have more, then I'm not feeling like I am qualified.
Right.
And even though I may be qualified. So dealing with those emotions of feeling like I'm not good enough and I might get rejected even if I have it on paper that I'm qualified.
Right.
It's a real problem, I don't know.
I mean, we all have to work through those insecurities, and it is something that will stick with us until we push past it. Talk about going through the forest. You can't leapfrog the forest. You have to go through the forest. You can't go around the forest. A lot of people like to burn the forest down, but you still have to go through that. The burned down tree limbs. Like you still have to watch your feet. You can't get through it without going through it.
Yeah.
There's also the imposter syndrome. Now, this is a quote from Michelle Obama. She says, I still have a little imposter syndrome. It doesn't go away, that feeling that you shouldn't take me seriously. What do I know? I share that with you because we all have doubts in our abilities, about our power and what that power is.
Hearing that from Michelle Obama.
Like you know her.
Like I know her. Hearing that from my girl Michelle. I be listening to her podcast.
I listen to the podcast. That
in
counts.
my opinion. And so I feel like she's my homegirl. What's up, Michelle? How you doing, girl? But hearing that from her, it means a lot.
Yeah.
Because
she's my forever first lady.
Forever. And it makes me feel like, okay, if she can do this, if she can get up on that stage
and feel that way,
I'm just going into a room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have this entire nation on my shoulders.
Right.
So
I wish they were on her shoulders.
Those are some strong, broad shoulders that lady has.
Right. She be working out.
Boom. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's not having as much stress and responsibility that she had on her shoulders as being the first lady, and just me going in to ask for a promotion or stepping into a new position in life. It gave me it should encourage a lot of people, not just myself, into setting myself up for success.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it is we will never get what we want until we ask for it. It's very rare for someone to just be like, I know you want this thing and I'm just going to give it to you. We weren't born with the right...
a silver spoon in our mouth.
Yeah. We weren't born with the nepotism needed to get where some folks can get, where they don't have to work for it. And some of the work, unfortunately, has to include pushing past the doubt.
Yeah.
And, that imposter syndrome is real hard. It's real hard to push past because it speaks to not only what we think of ourselves, but the fear that other people see us as less than.
Or will see us as less than if we are looking like we got it all together, and then someone's like, wait a minute,
Do you?
And then they start,
Right.
it was like, what if they find out my secret?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and your secret is you're just getting through it. You understand, if you, from being an entrepreneur to a student to a person that's moving up in their careers, to a housewife, to a woman that is running things, to a man that's running things, to a husband trying to provide for his family. Like, you were working through it. We're going to make mistakes. And you guess what happens when you make mistakes? You grow.
Yeah.
So if you're afraid of making those mistakes because people that you look up to, you don't see the mistakes they made. It's kind of like that meme where you see the peak of the mountain,
Yeah.
but you don't see the rest of the mountain.
Right.
You gotta give yourself some grace a little bit.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Understand that, you know?
Absolutely. It's really, really tough to break past that barrier and not crumble under it, under the weight of that. I mean, when you ask for a promotion, you ask to be seen, you are pushing past your own doubt and you're asking for people to scrutinize you. You know,
put you under that spotlight.
Exactly. And you don't know whether or not you're going to be up to snuff, as they say. And, you know, the thing is, we're going to talk about ways you can push past that. But that's the tough part. And it's also difficult if you were always criticized or you felt like you had to be perfect. You might constantly worry that you're not good enough. Like, it's very, very hard to recognize your good work unless someone is constantly telling you that you're doing good.
Yeah.
You know?
And the way people tell us that you're doing good these days is how?
Being vocal? Oh, you mean liking
your
posts?
shit on, yeah.
But you have to post for that.
You gotta post.
You know how many people don't post? Like, they don't say, hey, look at me. They think that's bragging. You know, if you put out a post and say, I did good, you know, people call that a humble brag or whatever. But it's like, no, I just want you to see me. Mm-hmm. And it's very, very hard to do that for some people. The introverts of the world or people who grew up with, you know, criticism. You know, if they still have that little voice in their head that says, you're not good enough, that sounds very, very familiar.
Or even if they set a limitation for themselves. Like,
exactly.
I want, by this month, I should be here with my podcast. Let's talk about our podcast for a little bit. If we start setting limitations, like, okay, by the 21st episode, you know, if we haven't reached this marking and followers and stuff like that, we're just going to stop. We're going to go on hiatus. We're going to try to revisit this. I went to a podcast summit, and the person that put together this podcast summit, he explained that it took his 54th episode to actually catch fire.
Oh, that's more than twice the 21 episodes.
Right?
That's
almost 2 years.
That's more than a year. Oh, I was about to say that's more than a year. That's 2 years.
And for years, he had families and friends saying to him, why are you still going? Why are you still posting? What is your point?
Right.
You know, and that being criticized, being judged. He bypassed that because he saw what it could be.
Right.
And with that 54th episode, where he had a guest on his show that had a huge following and a fan base like the Beehive that will always show up.
I don't think anything's bigger than the Beehive.
No, but you know, yeah, okay, can't compare. But had a very a very what's the word that someone's committed? A committed base that would follow and look and engage. A very engaged base. They watched the episode. They liked the episode. It shows a spike on his analytics. Shows 2 years flatline, and all of a sudden a heartbeat came. And then what he started noticing is that his 42nd episode is what kept the momentum going. What was the difference between the 42nd episode and the 54th? It was just about getting an audience that was going to watch it at the 54th episode. And that 42nd one, it was still good.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he did anything different. It was still a good episode, and the other ones were still good, and now they all have over like 10K in views. So when you think about that, it's one of those things. It's like, stop limiting yourself. Stop setting dates. Because when you start setting dates, I know they tell you, like, if you really want to reach your goal, you need to make sure you have a game plan and a timeline. And that works if you're working for a business.
Yeah.
And you need to have something done by a deadline. But until you start getting that momentum where you can actually set those type of expectations, you just got to keep going until the fire starts going. You know what I'm saying?
I absolutely agree. I think that it's important that you keep trying and striving for your goals, regardless of the feedback. It's up to an extent, but you have to believe in yourself and believe that you're worth the effort, even if it takes a little bit longer than other people think. If you feel like you need to stop, then stop. Yeah. But don't go based on what other people think.
And that's just in our work environment, or if you're trying to be an entrepreneur and everything. But how do these feelings impact our personal lives? Mm-hmm. Like, what about relationships? How many of us are avoidants or afraid of commitment?
Well, from the book Attached, in a few other episodes that we, maybe 3 or 4 episodes back.
Yeah, just only 2 episodes back, maybe.
Check it out. Go and look. If you've not subscribed, subscribe.
At the end of this one, I'll make sure to point to the attachment styles video.
Okay, sounds good. But we learned in the book that about a quarter of us are avoidant. We are afraid of various things. There are various things that avoidant people are afraid of. But one of those is commitment and, leveling up in our personal lives. I recognize this because I've noticed in my personal life there are a lot of people, specifically men, who feel like they need to be at a certain place in order to level up in a relationship. I want to change that from men to people. Mm-hmm. Partners in relationships, struggling to make the next move, moving in or signing on the dotted line. Mm-hmm. Like if you are, signing a license per se, a marriage license, that might be a little bit of a struggle for you to get to the place where you feel really comfortable doing that, because we worry about, making the wrong decision. We worry about making a decision too fast. We worry about, what happens afterward. And, we're going to touch on a little bit of that. And the first one is like that sense of having a delayed adulthood, the failure to launch, whether or not you're ready for that thing. If you are not yet at a place where you know that you want to commit to one person. Like I think about coming to America when Akeem was trying to find the woman for him, and his dad was like, "Oh, you just need to sow your royal oats." And I'm just like, I've been hearing that all my life, that boys are supposed to date as much as they possibly can, and then they're going to be ready for marriage when they are ready to just have one person. And that's really not realistic. If you're dating a bunch of people, you're creating a pattern, and you're gonna have to break that pattern in order to be in a relationship. Just like an avoidant will have to break the pattern of breaking up in order to stay in a relationship. That's a big one.
I mean, emotional maturity is a must. I mean, even if you are wanting to be in a committed relationship, some people lack emotional maturity. Mm-hmm. And that's something that you have to face. When it comes to the fact that as kids, boys are taught to go spread their wild oats. I mean,
spread their seed.
Spread their seed. And find out how many kids they might have, right. By the time they find that Mrs. Right, But it's one of those things where it becomes a burden. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm at the level to step up to the next step. Mm-hmm. and grow some hair on my chest and be that man or be that woman because I'm...
Sometimes women grow hair on their chest.
Yeah, but I will always make sure I get laser hair removal because I don't like the hair on the chest. Not if you're a woman. Yeah, I don't think I like it on men either. If I was in a relationship, I'd be like, shave that. But I'm not with men. But ew, I don't like hair, period. Anyway, that's off topic.
Yeah,
Maybe
Reel
I'm
you
just
back in.
emotionally immature on that one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have that, but then if you're fearing that emotional maturity, you might be fearing also divorce.
Yes.
You know, if I'm not mature enough, I could ruin this relationship. I have to get it right. You're a perfectionist, right?
Unfortunately.
And like my family has gone through a lot of divorces, you know, and to have a solid foundation, that's what I've been told. In order to have a successful marriage, you got to have a solid foundation. And that's not something I take lightly. And it's one of those things where I do want to find a person that I can grow old with. I mean, family's not always going to be there. Friends won't always be there. But to have a ride or die, like that's kind of cool wow, I have this person till when we meet till the end of time.
That's lovely.
That's very lovely. That's very Disney.
But the fact is, most marriages or half marriages end in divorce. And that's the tough thing. And that's been like a statistic for the last 60-some years.
Yeah.
Like since women have been able to, more than 60 years probably, since women have been able to have their own credit card and buy property, divorce rates have been pretty steady at like 50%. And that's really, really hard. What you say about,
But wait, it kind of sounds like you're saying since women have been able to not just be a stay-at-home mother, it's caused the divorce rate to go up. I feel like since time has changed, I think I don't like want to like say like, oh, since women have been able to be a little bit more independent in a relationship, that they've caused the divorce rate to go up. I mean, that's kind of like men saying we need to go back to those times where women just stayed at home. It's like I feel like it's more about men stepping out and women having more of a being. If this is the thing for me, I have seen what my family has gone through, so therefore I don't want to go through divorce. Have I been married? Yes, I have. Did I go through divorce? Yes, I did. Why? Because that person was cheating on me and lying to me.
Right.
I refuse to witness something in my personal life and go through it in my personal life that I witness my family members go through. And so as an adult, it had nothing to do. I'm in a same-sex relationship. It had nothing to do with, oh, you were able to financially take care of yourself now. It had everything to do with the fact that, hey, you're cheating. You're going against our vows, So I feel like more. I think this generation and our generation, the generations come, they don't want to live the way their parents may have lived, where they were silent.
But that's kind of the point that I was making, that before the women could be independent, people stayed in relationships because they didn't have a choice. Now that there's a choice, you can choose your happiness. I'm not blaming women for that. I'm blaming, bad relationships. I was about to say blaming men for it, but I'm blaming bad relationships because, we don't have to stay where we're unhappy. We don't have to stay where we're unwanted or not being treated well. Like, now that we have a choice, we are not staying. So I'm not blaming women for that. I think women should do that. Every woman, every person in a relationship should stick it out if it's worth sticking out. But if it's not, you need to cut the cord, because absolutely am I not going to be disrespected in relationships. But yeah, that's just, the fact is, fear of the negative end of a relationship might keep someone from taking the next step into the next relationship, right?
Yeah, I mean, having to now be independent, not having a partner, in the sense of financial stability.
Mm-hmm.
You go from having 2 paychecks to having 1 paycheck.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, another big thing that a lot of people have, taking the relationship from the girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend
Them, they, her.
stage.
Whatever else.
Yeah, like the them friend and the them friend stage. Like, it's...
I'm with them, we with them, we did the them stage.
Yes, I don't know what that's from.
I just made that up.
Oh, okay, that's you. Okay.
It's me.
That's a Justice original.
Geeky cool. Take note.
Indeed. But the point is, there is a desire to be established before you take the next step in your personal relationships. You want to feel like you have enough money for the ring, the wedding, and the down payment. A lot of that's what men are taught, and I know that statistic. I'm a woman who's dating women. So I'm like, are we ready for that?
Yeah.
That's real tough. Like, if you are not ready for that down payment, am I going to get a family when I can only afford to rent? And then I'm living under someone else's roof. I want to be able to afford my own roof. Are you worried about not having job stability? Mm-hmm. Like, this is not an economy where you can, ever feel safe. I work in entertainment. I see layoffs at, these big companies, these big studios, and I get so scared by that. A lot of people who work for tech companies, you're not safe either. Like, no one is safe. And are you going to have a family to worry about? Like, you can get by, maybe. No, you can't. I was about to say you can get by on unemployment, but you really can't. It's just not enough. It's real hard. And you have the extra concern that you have other people who depend on you. Whew.
I mean, that's that responsibility, right? Just like with getting a promotion.
Yeah.
You now have a mouth to feed.
Yeah.
You have a wife or husband to keep happy.
Right.
And to feed their mouths too. And then you have this little one that you're going to be shaping and influencing who they're going to be when they become an adult.
Right.
There's a lot of fears that, look, it doesn't come with a book. There's no book of how to raise a family or how to be ready for a family. No. It's like they have people that talk about their experiences and this is what you can do, but you really don't know until you actually are doing it.
Absolutely.
And we're
all
completely
individuals.
Different. Yeah. You don't really have all the answers when you're looking for those answers. But most importantly, I think sometimes people fear that we just aren't ready or we don't feel like we deserve happiness. Or love or a partnership that's able to see past the good, the bad, and the ugly and accept you for all of those. Especially when you didn't see that in your family. If you always saw a family that was always arguing, always at each other's throats, and then you meet somebody and they're just like, oh my God, they're an angel.
No one's an angel.
If you're coming from a place that you considered hell, this is an angel.
Okay.
And if you're not accepting that, I'm worthy of a person that's good. I'm worthy of a person that sees me and loves me for my flaws. I'm worthy of this. And if you don't accept
I'm joking.
No, you're not, because there's people that don't know what that's like.
I mean,
I'm not saying you specifically don't know what that's like, but I'm saying, like, there are literally people out there that never been loved a certain way.
Right.
And so they put this guard up, or they become this avoidant. and I just say ass nowadays, where they don't want someone to penetrate them in a manner that they're getting to their heart. Am I? Oh, sorry. Am I striking a nerve, friend?
Keep going. I'm listening.
You know,
I'm trying to grow in this moment.
And what happens? They run away from those deep conversations, or they run away from that relationship, or they create the drama in the relationship. Do you know how many times I've been in a relationship where a person has created a problem to push me away?
I've been there.
Yeah, and if I said, no, I see what you're doing, I see you, and I stay, they're like, I don't know what to do with you.
Yeah.
You know, and it becomes a huge problem for both people, because that person's like, I don't know what to do with you, and it seems like if I can be a complete jerk or put you in this limbo, you will always come back to me like a boomerang. And then you have a person that's like trying to show them how much they can be loved, that it becomes draining.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever seen, I keep talking about memes this episode, but there's this meme where this person's feeling sad. It's a cartoon, by the way. It's feeling sad, and the person, they use a heart emoji and gives them a heart, you know, and the person feels happy again. And then they feel sad again, and the person gives them more of a heart, right? And then they feel stronger again, and then they realize, oh, I need to keep you around, because every time I feel like this, you're going to give me more, you're going to love on me more, and I'm going to become this. Meanwhile, all of your hearts, all these parts of you that you're giving to them starts building these different holes in you that you're now diminishing who you are.
Yeah.
And you're giving it all to them.
Right.
So you need to be careful. There's a thin line. And, you know, to be honest, that's another fear of going into a relationship. And that's something that you learn after being in relationships, you know. And that's probably why I have a fear of relationships right now. At least I can acknowledge it.
Yeah.
I don't want to overgive anymore. I'm giving out.
Yeah.
So, what is your take on that?
No, I absolutely think that that's true. And you did strike a little bit of a nerve. Like, I feel like I've always been behind walls emotionally. I have taken to saying things like, I open windows for people, I open a few doors for people, but I still lock that bitch up tight, like that meme with the guy going into the room and hitting like 10 different locks, and then he sits down and he's just like sipping on a drink, like legit. I am now safe. You cannot get in this sucker. But yeah, it's tough because, you know, I'm realizing that the emotions are a good thing. I've heard emotions are a good thing.
Have you heard, or with this podcast, you should be learning, because you are a student teacher as well.
Yeah.
That emotions are a good thing.
I'm good at some lessons, not all of them.
And you don't have to be good at all of them, but you can learn at all of them and acknowledge them. That's what I like about us, friend. See, I'm a Scorpio, and I'm like, oh, you're too sensitive sometimes. No, I can sting. Don't get me twisted.
Hilarious.
But the situation is, I'm more willing to acknowledge my emotions and acknowledge other people's emotions.
And as a Capricorn, I'm much more practical in going like, but your emotions aren't the thing. We have to do this practical, rational thing, this logical thing that has nothing to do with emotions.
Logic and emotions go hand in hand.
But this episode is about...
But I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. See, this is a fear. Logistically, you want to be like this, and then emotionally, you want to be like this. And then we're like, you know what? I'm just stuck. I'm not emotionally mature enough to handle this, because I'm fighting both. And it's okay to be logistical as well as being emotional. Just got to find that balance.
Yeah.
But let's go on. What about the discomfort?
The discomfort, sitting in it is the good thing. My therapist tells me all the time to sit in the discomfort. Don't distract yourself from the discomfort. Journal about the discomfort. Get those feelings on paper. That is, the suggestion from an actual MHP, mental health professional. But it's real hard to do it because, we don't want to potentially have to make new sacrifices. We might worry about what changing our routine will do for us. Like, it's very hard to, say, hey, I'm going to stop doing this thing that's hurting me. I'm going to do this thing that's going to help me, that's going to level me up. But the problem is that transition stage is so uncomfortable that you just don't feel like you can make it through. You want to turn back and go back to the other way you came. But honestly, again, you have to go through the forest. You cannot go around or above or underneath the forest. You have to go through the damn forest.
This ain't a game of leapfrog, people. Not today.
Anyway.
So with all that said, I mean, this also goes into the fact that all of these life-changing events are impacted with the same inner child struggles.
Yeah.
And as we get older, those inner child struggles continue to compound. And, from people-pleasing to not feeling you're deserving to being afraid to step into the spotlight or more, what we have experienced through our past has caused us to pause in the present. But we have to remember that the best thing about living in the now is that we, you, me, you, me, all of us, we decide and make the choice to either stay where we're at or push through it. Like she said, in order to get through the forest, you gotta
get through the forest.
And so we would like to believe that if you're still watching and listening to this podcast, you are wanting to do the latter, right? And with that said, let's discuss on how we can actually
push through
it.
Get through it. First, you need to notice it. You need to acknowledge it.
We've said this in every single episode because
it's the first step. You cannot change something that you will not acknowledge, that you don't see. You have to peep it and do something about it.
Yeah.
And that starts with what?
Being kind to yourself.
Yes.
Give yourself grace. Maya Angelou said, which is one of my favorite quotes from her, nothing can dim the light which shines from within. If you're not able to give yourself grace and understand that, okay, this is a moment in my life that I need to come face to face with, then you're going to continue to keep living in the dark. So by living in the dark, you're dimming your own light. Right. So in order for you to flourish and to step into the next step, you're going to have to shine on yourself a little bit. Allow yourself that grace and that light so that you can continue to grow. And while you're growing, you begin to
reparent yourself. You need to, all the stuff that thus far is reparenting, because the first thing to fixing a problem, noticing it. Mm-hmm. The second thing is giving yourself a little bit of grace. Mm-hmm. And those are things that we wanted from our parents. We wanted to be noticed. We wanted to be seen. And we wanted to be given grace. We want to be given the time to know that we deserve that little extra bit that we need from our parents.
And if we did something wrong, explain to us in a manner that wasn't
just a whipping. Yes.
Or you're doing this, so you're bad.
The conversation is important. It is the most important thing.
Now, I'm not saying that every child should get a trophy, which seems to be going on these days.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, like, this imprint that you're laying on them at this time, they need to understand that if they do something wrong, they're gonna have a grace period that you can be kind and you can move on. Reparenting all this is necessary, because if not, then they're never gonna be able to build their confidence.
Right. Exactly. And that's what we're instilling in the kids now anyway. But yeah, you have to reparent yourself and, let yourself know that you are capable of achieving your goals and you're worthy of the time it takes to get there.
And by doing that, you'll be able to build your confidence.
Yeah.
If you're not giving yourself grace, letting yourself know that you're capable and worthy, and if you're not instilling that in your children these days, they would never know what it takes to build their confidence up.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it starts at home, and like we're talking last week, it goes to school and everything else. Like all of those things help to build the confidence in kids. And what we're doing right now is like trying to reparent ourselves and give us those lessons that we either failed as kids or did not get. Like we just missed that core curriculum.
Right.
That was an elective that we didn't get, but we have to go back and, make sure that we get it because it's important and it's on us now.
Absolutely. And since it's on us now,
Yeah.
then we need to write down our successes. You know why? Because we got to fight that imposter syndrome.
Yes.
That's the only way to fight that fake feeling. Write them down. Let yourself know that you are here because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. And don't forget about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's important that you recognize how far you've come, because a lot of times you will not realize that you have made breakthroughs after breakthroughs after breakthroughs. Like everything that you have been through up till now, you've crushed. I mean, it might not have felt good. You might have felt like it was crushing you, but you made it. And, it's important to recognize that you can do that. And it might feel bad in the moment, but it'll be worth it in the end because you are worth it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's another thing we can do? We kind of touched on in our last episode.
Yeah, you have to learn how to say no sometimes. You need to recognize that, hey, I don't want that job. 42% of people saying that they are like, you know what, I'm good. That says a lot, especially if there was money on the table. That's important. If you look at an opportunity and you see the dollar signs but don't see any of the other benefits, guess what? That's not for you.
It's not for you.
Because money isn't enough.
Nope.
It's not going to be enough. You have to do the thing that's going to make you happy. That's what I tell people. Like, they're like trying to figure out the shoulds of the world. Like, there's no should. Yeah. There's only making yourself happy and not hurting other people. So if you're not hurting other people and you don't want that thing, say no. What else can we do?
No. Well, we're saying no to things. We can say yes to getting help.
Yes.
And getting a therapist or a coach. There's so many different types of coaches. If you need a career coach, if you need a relationship coach, if you need a motivational coach, if you need a baseball coach, whatever you need for you to knock it out the park. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the help that you need so that you can get that proper guidance. And it doesn't have to be professional. It can be like a friend.
Yeah. I mean, you need an accountability buddy that's going to say, hey, remember that you said you wanted to do this thing, you wanted to achieve this thing? Why haven't you taken that class? Why haven't you, ordered this thing that will help you get to your goal? You have to pursue it, and you have to have people who are going to support you to get you there.
Yep.
Yeah. And what else?
Focus on the now.
The now.
Now.
Not worry about the past and what didn't work out then, and what we can do now to change our future.
Yeah, nostalgia is beautiful, but sometimes they need to go back where they came from.
Indeed. Indeed. Absolutely.
Go back in that basement for a second, and any past issues that you may have thrown out, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, learn from them.
Yeah.
Step up from them. That's what makes you you.
Yes.
So control that. You have control over your choices. You're an adult now.
Yes.
Mommy, daddy, they're not here. Your big sister, your big brother, they're not. you can do this.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And do it for you, because you're what? Worthy.
You're worthy and you're
ready. You're ready to take on that next thing. And if that is taking that promotion or going for that promotion, make sure that you are prepared for it. Do the due diligence, make sure you're writing down your successes so that you can bring that to that meeting and say, hey, this is why I am worthy. This is why I deserve this thing. You put it down, you put it in their face, and you say, hey, this is mine.
This is mine.
Don't tell them that in those words, but
no, tell them that. Say, this is mine.
This
and if
is
you
mine.
don't realize it,
Right?
you're fired.
Fuck you.
Kiss my black ass.
Right, exactly.
Don't say that.
You can say that. Don't say it in the meeting, but in your head, just be like, this, and this, and kiss my black ass. But you again, keep that. That's the inner voice. Don't say that out loud.
Yeah. It's your inner child being a little sassy.
Right. Yeah. But you just make sure that you bring your authentic self to that meeting.
Yeah.
I think it was Oprah Winfrey who said, I had no idea that being myself would be the thing that would make me successful. If I had known that, I'd have started being myself earlier.
I think a lot of people think about that nowadays, especially when they start, especially this generation that's built their confidence up on social media and being an influencer, to get paid for being you and bringing you to the table.
Yeah.
I wish we had that when we were growing up, where we could just be us and people would be like, great. It's like when I came out here, oh, you need to make sure you have long hair. Oh, you need to make sure you're so feminine. Oh, you need to do this. But then I saw some people being successful doing the opposite, being who they were.
But that's the now. I don't wish I grew up in social media. That's a different conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
but in the world of social media, you absolutely don't have... As you're building your confidence, people are tearing you down. So
so you're not getting that opportunity to build that tough skin.
My tough skin was built with the knees. Yes, I was also the playing outside and scruffing up my knees and having regular old bullies and not bullies online. I'd much have the 80s, 90s childhood than the current childhood.
Facts.
I mean, it might be easier to be gay now but other than that, I think it's...
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, I think with each generation, there's some positives and negatives that we can say, I wish this was this way or that way, boom, boom, boom. But, I'm thankful for the experience that I've been able to experience in this life. And thinking about that, I think the class is over. What do you think?
I think.
So the key things for you to push through everything.
You want to make sure that you, notice and acknowledge.
Yes.
Decide, make a decision that you are going to make a change.
Yep. And the second would be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Show yourself some grace.
Yep.
And while you're doing that,
make sure you reparent yourself. Give your inner child and your current self the things that you need to be successful, the things that you need to be helpful and encourage yourself.
Yeah. Tell yourself you're worthy a little bit. Build that confidence.
Yeah. What else?
You need to write down your successes.
Yeah. Yep. Catalog them. Make sure you remember them. Journal about them.
Yeah, because you ain't fake.
Yeah. And save those emails when someone says, hey, you did a great job on this, and, bring that to that meeting.
Yeah.
For sure.
So when people show up wrong, you can tell them no.
Yeah, exactly. No. Let's go back per this email. But yeah, you also want to learn to say no, set your boundaries, advocate for yourself.
Get some help.
Yep. That's the next thing.
Yep. And last
focus on the now.
Why? Because you're ready.
Yes, absolutely.
You're definitely ready. And so for homework.
You want to take some time this week to journal about the next 3 to 5 years or the next 5 to 10 years, if you're a Capricorn, of your life?
I just need to think about 2. 2 for right now, please.
That's it. That's enough. That's enough. But you want to think about what you want to accomplish and where you want to be. You know, take that and figure out what's holding you back from achieving it.
Oh.
It's the school bell.
It's the school bell.
So we're gonna go after school. We take a dip in the pool, which is really on the wall. I got a color TV so I can see the Knicks play basketball. Swish.
So for after school, what are we working on? Come on, Karen, let us have it.
I am currently working on my emotional vulnerability. So it's very interesting that this episode comes up at a time when I am, you know, struggling to be emotionally mature. I think I am mature in a lot of ways, but emotionally I am stunted. But I'm working on it. I say that constantly. Like, be patient with me because I'm trying.
So you've done the first step where you acknowledged it.
Yes.
And you seem to have shown some grace.
I'm trying to show myself grace. I'm hard at it.
To actually act on it.
Yeah, I'm in therapy. I'm working on it.
All right. So we're almost
incremental steps. I'm trying to get through the forest. It's unfortunate that the light is very dim in this bitch, and I keep tripping over these tree branches and falling into mulch. But I'm doing the best I can.
But at least it's not quicksand.
Oh, yes. It's much better than quicksand, for sure.
Nice.
What about you, my friend?
I think I am standing my ground a little bit more in the things I'm doing and being more transparent. Like, being able to acknowledge the fact that if I'm going to lead, I can lead without always physically having to do the work and taking on the responsibility of others.
Yes.
Must delegate. And understanding what you're delegating. I guess I never wanted to be in a situation where I was delegating, but I didn't know exactly what I was delegating.
All right.
And I didn't know, like, if the product that's being produced was being produced correctly. You know, you gotta
trust other people.
You gotta trust other people, but you also have to have that eye to be able to recognize the shortcuts or the end deliverable is not really what the end deliverable needs to be.
Gotcha.
And then by doing that, you can mentor those people to elevate themselves. So, you know, that's what I'm working on right now. That's my work. Work. So that's our working stuff. What are you doing for self-care, girl?
I'm gonna bring back my puzzles. Okay. I am still working on the puzzles. The first 2, like I shared before, were I won't say they were easy, but they were quicker. They were done quicker than I thought they would be. You know, I finished the first one in 8 days and the second one in 5 days, and I was just like, I thought this was going to be a week-long process. This was going to be weeks long. And it, you know, was a little quicker than I wanted it to be. But my latest puzzle is, you know, challenging enough without being frustrating. So I'm enjoying that. So I feel like it's really good. It does help me care for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I mentioned that I'm going to start doing road trips. And I start pretty soon.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I just want to, me and my dog, just hit the road and see nature for what it is and be alone with my thoughts and start planning.
Yeah. That's good.
So that I can execute.
Execute.
No point to plan if you ain't going to execute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
That's what I'm going to do.
That's good. That's good self-caring there. So what about your time capsule? What are you going to pull out?
One moment, please.
Okay. There's another visual you want to share with us?
There's another visual. Got to be very delicate with this one.
What's this, my friend?
This is a rose that was laid at my grandmother's grave when she passed away. Her birthday's coming up, and she's been in my thoughts. I mean, she's always in my thoughts, but every time I see this rose, I mean, you can see the trials and tribulations gone through over these years, from moving from my studio to this location. It's definitely it's dead, but it's definitely stayed alive.
Yeah.
And it reminds me to keep moving, because it takes me back to a conversation that we had when she was telling me to stay out here in California, keep moving, keep believing in myself, and keep doing what I'm doing, and that she was proud of me. So, yeah, I mean, this is it. The funny thing about this rose is that I got accused by an ex that this rose was given to me by somebody that I was dating, and that's why I was holding on to it. So I've dated some bimbos.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it brings back a couple of memories.
Hilarious.
But the most important is that, yeah, it's kind of cool that I still have this, and I can think about my gram.
Right. That's awesome. I love it.
Oh shit! Smell.
Oh, that still has a smell, and it's dead.
And it's dead.
I would almost think it's not real.
Right?
That's crazy.
I haven't smelled it since. But,
wow.
Yeah.
And you still smell the rose.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Cool. What about you, friend?
I'm gonna bring out my Easy Bake Oven.
Because you're such a baker.
I am not really, but I've been eating a lot of cakes recently, and I've been eating a lot of pastries.
You sure it's not the Rihanna's cake?
It's definitely not Rihanna's cake. But I was just been thinking about, when I first started to do that. And, I had one of those Easy Bake Ovens. They were popular in the 90s, I think it was. I really enjoyed that, but I only got the packages. I think I had one package outside of what came with the Easy Bake Oven. And then it was like collecting dust after that. But
you weren't committed to it, friend?
I mean, I don't think I had money to go buy new packets of brownies that didn't really taste good. I think I just instead went to the grocery store and said, can I buy these brownies? And my mother allowed me to have the brownies that were real, that I baked in the actual oven. But, good try keeping women in the kitchen, toy companies. I never got a truck. I never got a single motorized car, but I got an Easy Bake Oven and some dolls. That's crazy. I did not get Hot Wheels either.
Damn.
Yeah. But I guess it's time for some extra credit. How can I get some extra credit?
Well, you can follow us at Hopscotch-N-Jacks Pod on Instagram,
yes,
or you can write to us on hopscotchnjackspod@gmail.com. And with that, you can subscribe wherever you hear our podcast.
Yes. Get on that. Hit that subscription right now. Subscribe. And for some extra credit, you can get to know us at Karen Got This. That's Karen with a C and a Y.
And you can get to know me at Art of Justice, and that's with the I-S, not an I-C-E. Yeah.
Make sure you share, like, and follow wherever you see this podcast. We appreciate that support.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Boom.
Boom.